Trade union Numsa is concerned about the well-being of 3 workers trapped under rubble at ArcelorMittal's plant in Vanderbijlpark. A blast took place around 2 a.m. today at the steel giant south of Johannesburg. Emergency services are on site trying to rescue the trio while also trying not to set off another explosion. The Metalworkers Union's Phakamile Hlubi is with us now. Phakamile, good evening and thank you so much for your time tonight. Firstly, just a reflection of what you've been able to observe throughout the day as this rescue procedure has been taking place.
Good afternoon, Cathy, and good evening to your viewers, and thank you so much for having me. I've been here the afternoon, but our officials have been here since early this morning when we got word that this blast had taken place in the early hours of this morning. What I can tell you, Cathy, is that as a trade union, we are deeply disturbed by the attitude of the management at ArcelorMittal, who, in our view, have been dragging their feet with regards to trying to get external expert assistance to deal with this catastrophe. They are relying heavily on their own in-house expertise, and it was only when, as unions, we pressurized them heavily in a meeting this afternoon that they finally relented under the threat of strike action to go and seek assistance from experts in mining houses surrounding the area, because the situation is still very, very volatile. We still have 3 workers who are trapped. We have no idea if they're safe. We have not been able to get to them, and it's been very, very slow work. And for the families, they are going through hell right now, not knowing the fate of their family members since 2 a.m.
Phakamile, just to understand, the team that ArcelorMittal had initially deployed to be part of the rescue process, are you saying that that team was not qualified enough to be doing that work?
Well, what they were relying on was their own internal people. So they've got some safety officers and they've got some people who have some experience with regards to emergencies. But as was pointed out by the regional secretary of Numsa during that meeting, this is a totally different situation. This is not a normal accident by AMSA standards. What is required is technical expertise that we know mining houses have, because right now we have workers who have volunteered themselves with the rescue mission. The area is very unstable, and there is huge concern that those workers involved in the rescue mission, who, by the way, are not trained for this level, the level of skill that's required in this type of delicate operation, might themselves find themselves in danger and need rescuing. So we had to pressurize the management, and finally they relented this afternoon and agreed that they would seek out help from mining houses, because at the rate they're going, I mean, they're literally removing brick by brick. It'll take days, Cathy, before we get to these workers.
What do you understand about this explosion and what potentially set it off? And speak to me about the concerns that, you know, the work of this rescue mission could well set off another explosion.
There's real concern about Cathy. I mean, even when I was there and I was very close to the scene of the actual incident, I didn't go to where the rubble was, but I could see the building that had collapsed. There was a very heavy atmosphere of and a smell of gas. And that is where the fear comes from, that there might be another explosion. So this is really, really critical that they get outside help. This is, in our view, beyond their technical capabilities. They need to seek other people who can assist them with this.
One of the things that you've also raised, Phakamile, is that as far as track record is concerned, ArcelorMittal is not really great, and you've cited examples of where previously they have been found to be lax when it comes to those issues.
Well, indeed. I mean, we had a shop steward of ours at Numsa was dismissed by ArcelorMittal for raising very sharply issues of health and safety. We are not confident. We don't feel a sense of confidence in this management to take this issue seriously. In fact, we were very, very vociferous in the meeting that had it been a manager who was trapped, there would certainly be more energy. We were deeply concerned that the management had this attitude that these workers were already deceased. We found that to be very disturbing, because if your attitude is that these workers have already passed away, then there's no incentive for you to act with speed. And this is where our concern lies. We do not want a repeat of the Lily Mine situation. These families deserve to know, and they deserve to know that this employer cares about workers and will do absolutely everything possible to rescue them and bring them home safely.
Phakamile, at this point, have they been able to identify, at the very least, the area where these employees could be trapped?
It's difficult to do. It's a huge mound of rubble that has to be removed, and has to be removed very gingerly and very carefully, so that because you must understand that that big pile is on top of a building and people are underneath that building. So it is a very delicate operation. It's hard for us to pinpoint exactly where they could be, and this is why we need all hands on deck. We need all resources that we can. We really would like to see a situation where these workers are brought to the surface, before the end of the day today.
All right, let's leave it there for now. Numsa's spokesperson, Phakamile Hlubi-Majola, as you heard there, that rescue operation is still underway. They're looking for 3 workers who have been trapped in that rubble since the early hours of this morning when that explosion took place.